guys, it's 21 Maxwell here and welcome to episode 48 of TNA Making an Impact. Before we start, for those of you who have been following me on social media, this is going to be the first episode of the series and probably from here on out where we are going to revert to the format we use with the WWE save. Nothing against writing out the episodes, it's nothing. Pretty much the reason for it is I feel I'm going to have a lack of time coming up. And I take an absolute age writing these episodes out. It's just a thing I do. And put the poll up saying would you like to see one episode fully written out or two with the WWE-like format and the WWE-like format, one at a canter. It's not a bad situation, it's a good situation. Let's say I'll be starting full-time work pretty shortly, so I just feel like hours are going to be limited, especially when you add in, I've got VFL, competitive clubs, shall we say. I'm enjoying FIFA this year with Ultimate Team. I caved in and bought Football Manager. Probably won't see that back as a YouTube series, but more, I'm still going to play a lot of it. And I just feel like that, added in with the long hours and Mulligal games and the constant amount of wrestling that I need to catch up on, the NBA season starting back, I just feel like it's going to take a lot of time out of actually typing the stuff out. And we're keeping it 2 episodes. We can continue to progress through it quicker, which means we can see storylines unfold, new wrestlers come in and take the company to new heights, and at the same time, I'll still explain everything, so it just won't be in text. So hopefully you can understand my Scottish accent. So we'll crack on to the show anyway. As I say, it's the first show of 2017, and yeah, we are on the way to TNA Genesis, which is next Sunday. So we've got this episode, next week's go home show, and then on to Genesis. But we'll crack on with the show, guys. Hope you enjoy it. So we start out with a matchup. We're in Hawaii. I just felt we hadn't been there for a while. So in front of 4,616 people, we have a decent matchup, which sees Bobby Roode defeat Crazy Steve in 7 minutes and 46 with the payoff. A C+70 is good. It continues this feud between the Decay and Beer Money. Rosemary doing some good work at ringside. Unfortunately, Crazy Steve suffered a lumbosacral strain. The match got the show off to a strong start and it got the crowd hotter. A good 76 performance from Bobby Roode. 46 from Crazy Steve is a bit more of an improvement from him. And Steve improves performance skills. It's keeping the feud heated. It's allowing Steve to work with better workers to hopefully progress his skill set as well. And no negatives, that's always a bonus. So next up, we've got an interview with Carly, a segment with Carly. There's been no Paige debuted last week, or known in this as Britannia Night. So basically it's just like Carly asking people, what's she doing here? So basically this angle was a case of she's met with Britannia, she has signed her to a TNA contract, and she is the newest TNA knockout, and that is a D-37. Britannia is in action in her debut match, and it's an extremely short match where she defeats Velvet Sky in 3:59 with the backstabber. Quite ironic because she's obviously going with Del Rio, who used the backstabber. At D+49, Britannia was off her game. Velvet Sky with 33 and a 53 for Britannia Night. I just feel a good victory for her, introduce her to the TNA audience. There were no skill improvements to speak of. You're going to get a few negatives for Velvet Sky. Overall, a good win for this new era of Knockout. And after the match, she's really just hyping up, what she done last week. She assaulted Ali. She's basically just saying, she's here to make an impact. This is her intentions here. And Ali was gaining a little bit of momentum, but she's proven, she's going to be one of the top dogs here in TNA. So a C60 promo. Britannia's getting better at her gimmick, and the Knockout storyline has advanced and gained a bit of heat. Next up and about had some subpar wrestling and little heat. Ricochet defeated Braxton Sutter in 6:21 with a standing shooting star press. D+49 as we still continue to build up the X division. These guys have great chemistry together. Ricochet with a 54. Braxton Sutter with a 30. No skill improvements. Overall just a good victory given some momentum. The King of Flight. Next up, basically just another kind of angle here. with the partnership of Gail Kim and Ali. Obviously, we had Gail Kim willing to train Ali. So this is another one of those videos. She's just saying, how much do you want to get back at Sienna? Paige is going to be trying to attack you as well, or Britannia is going to be attacking you. How are you going to be able to defend yourself? So another training montage here. A nice solid D+51 angle for Gail Kim and Ali. And next up, and about the terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Sienna debuted the debuting Kellyanne English in 5:57 by pinfall with Cutthroat. D-36. Just felt like we needed some more knockouts. Kellyanne English is someone we can use as an enhancement talent before eventually building her up down the line. She's young enough. She just debuts an old school face gimmick with an initial rating of very good. She gets the 17, Sienna gets the 42, but the Knockouts champion prevails. A few negatives here. Rusty holding back, and a few negatives for Kellyanne, but we'll get her there eventually. And after this matchup, Sienna just cuts a promo, really just saying, Ali, you can do what you want, you can train with Gail Kim all you want, you'll never be a match for me. So a C-54 promo from Sienna. Actually put this feud up quite well. Hopefully now we can add a few more layers to it and really establish a proper Knockouts division. Next up, we have MVP and Tyrus hyping up their upcoming matchup. The American Male is actually going to be Tyrus against Davey Richards, I think I put. But basically here, they've been in this situation where they've been constantly overlooked. And they're like, we've been overlooked on pay-per-views. We're going to show you guys, we ain't past it. In fact, this is just going to be a reminder how good we really are. So it continues the tag team storyline. Get the crowd hotter, which is good to see. Negatives for both men with poor morale, but we'll hopefully improve that. The matchup itself was Eddie Edwards, in the match, and about had some decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. And Tyrus defeats Eddie Edwards in 9:22 by pinfall using a foreign object. Let's get a C63, Eddie Edwards with a 62 and Tyrus with a 51. Eddie Edwards is improving his rumble skills. Overall, a good win for Tyrus, and I say we're going to build up that tandem between him and MVP, giving them something to do, and hopefully, utilise them to their potential. Next up in a decent wrestling matchup, Jay Lethal defeated Caleb Conley, who was returning after injury, by pinfall with a lethal combination. Again using Caleb here as the enhancement talent before we build him up down the line. But a C63, a 72 for Lethal, 37 for Caleb Conley. No skill improvements. Negatives here, really just the motivation. Caleb Conley, but I say it's early days and hopefully, he can get better. After the matchup, Jay Lethal cuts a promo on Shibata. Obviously, this feud's been documented for a long time. And he just says, when he gets his rematch at Genesis, he's going to show the world, he deserves to be the TNA National Champion, and he will put an end to this unbeaten streak that Shibata is on. This gets a B-74. The TNA National storyline advances, and overall, very good work again from Jay Lethal. Next up in our co-main event, and about that had some great wrestling and good heat. Fergal Devitt defeated Bram in 13:47 by pinfall with a flying double stomp. Just a good kind of matchup here to give a good rating to get the champ a victory. Get him on TV and that while the tournament's taking place. So it's a B81, Devitt with an 80 and Bram a 65, so very good combination there. And a good win for the champ. This leads us into our next segment, which is a small interview segment between Magnus and Drew. Really just going to call this, I don't know what we can call Magnus's kind of talk show. It's something I'd like to do more often, so if anybody's got any ideas what we can call this, Talking with King Magnus or something, if anybody's got any better ideas than that, we'll go for it. Basically, Drew's on, they've been in the opposing teams a few times, and basically they start brawling here. As you can see, we're obviously going to go with a matchup between them at Genesis. But a solid C+68 here between the Battle of Britain. Next up, we've got EC3 hyping up his matchup against Bobby Lashley, of course, the final of the number 1 contenders tournament. So the winner of this next match will face Fergal Devitt at TNA Genesis. A B+89 is very good, and we will change him to a cocky gimmick, which is rating is average. So EC3 versus Lashley. They've not really had any matches against each other apart from, once we started the save. In the last couple of months, maybe not as much, but it's a real chance for a good matchup between these two. The winner facing Virgo Devitt. Negative was it limited for being short, being the 5 minutes we gave it. And the matchup itself had great wrestling and good heat, and it saw EC3 defeat Bobby Lashley in 15:54 by pinfall, with Sweet Meat Sizzler following interference from Mike Bennett. This was B-77, Lashley with 66, EC3 with 78, and it continues the storyline between the Miracle Machine and the Destroyer, which gains some heat. So EC3 will go on to face Bram. Bobby Lashley has more problems with Mike Bennett. So overall, pretty good with that matchup there. Disappointing with EC3's stamina. Hopefully we keep having him in these kind of matches. He can only improve that. And we end the show. Lashley's basically going to be in the ring. He's going to be getting beat down by the tandem of by Carter, Bennett and Cage. So obviously Cage is the kind of bodyguard of Mike Bennett. So the three of them will be beating him down. Devitt will come down for the save, but it won't be enough, so the likes of Carter, Bennett and Cage will beat down Lashley and Devitt to end the show. So the heels come out standing. A C+67. Lashley looked good, Devitt looked excellent. Cage and Bennett were underwhelming and didn't look good. At the end of the day, these kind of segments will build them up for the future. And of course, more heat gained in the Miracle Machine Destroyer storyline. So you get an idea of some of the matches that are going to be taking place at Genesis. We'll build up the rest of the show next week, but overall, it's still doing the job. It's a solid B78 show, and it's increasing their popularity in 18 regions. So again, continue to be on the track we're previously on. What I will do, I did ask in the last episode, in the awards episode, any ideas for what we're going to call the development. We had a great shout of the Impact Zone, which I might use because it's showing, that's where it was obviously the home of TNA for a while. But if you've got any other suggestions, if you could leave them in the comments section below, and if we get a few, we'll have maybe a wee straw poll, see what people think, and we'll hopefully have that development system up and running by February again, so maybe like 2-3 weeks time, hopefully. So let's have a look here. If anything affects us, Bobby Roode signs with House of Hardcore, Crazy Steve's injury, won't be taking time off, that's good. But apart from that, everybody says we struck gold with the show, that's good. So we see here, Braxton Sutter wants some wins, Crazy Steve's injury, and Devitt does not like Crazy Steve. TV rating, 2.61. But overall, I quite enjoyed that show. We have a new signee, who we obviously saw in the last episode. She will be starting tomorrow, so we'll have her in episodes soon. But yeah, pretty good show. We're continuing to make money financially, that's all we can do. Just need to keep improving prestige and momentum and stuff like that. The size, we'll get there with a decent level of importance. So all I can say, guys, is sorry if you like the old format. I just, as I say, I put it to people on social media. This is what they voted for. Depending on what my shift pattern's going to be, there might be a chance we do end up getting back to the old pattern, but in all honesty, I do feel it's going to be quite hectic, and try to balance everything out is going to be pretty tough. So I'll keep you updated when I know more about it. But say until then, as always, thanks for watching. It's been deeply appreciated. So if you get any comments regarding the series, any people you'd like to see signed or getting pushed in the future, let me know. If you get any predictions for the Genesis Scalp, what you'd like the development system to be called, and of course, guys, how are you guys getting on? It's not just all about me, of course. How are your saves getting on? How are you doing with TNA if you're managing them, WWE, or even the Cornellverse? So let us know how you're getting on. What's your favourite match to book so far? Has MD cracked that A100 rating? One other one I'm going to ask you is, on the main screen of TW, you get your achievement list. Who's got the most? I'm intrigued to know who's got the most. I don't have too many, because I'm quite a big companies. So the small to whatever and those kind of achievements haven't been achieved yet, but that's something I might look at in the future, because I do want to try and crack every one of them. But as I say, guys, thanks always for watching. It's deeply appreciated. As I say, any comments, likes, subscriptions are always deeply appreciated. And if you want to get involved in the TEW hype, best places to get started are downloading OBS, uploading your content to the old YouTube, or streaming on twitch.tv. and sharing your content on the Fantasy Bookers subreddit and the Grey Dog software forums. So apart from that, guys, take it easy, and I'll see you hopefully for the next episode, the Go Home Show for TNA Genesis. Bye bye.